The Cobra Mk3. What a ship. Often overlooked. Don't see many players flying around in Cobra Mk3s. I'm Commander Ricardo. This is Reboot and Restart, where I take a look at old aspects of the Elite Dangerous game that may be forgotten because you've moved on to other ships, other ways of making money, and things like that. So, the Reboot and Restart series has been going for quite a while now, at least a year. And we've covered things like mining and engineers and different ships and how to make money with the hindsight of going through the game once. I went and bought another account on Steam because it was really cheap and thought I'd start my quest again. So the Cobra Mk3 then. It does look quite naval in its colours, in its stock colours. Not too shabby, it looks quite good. Nice uniform colour of blue with white stripes. But with several community goals being met recently, in particular one where everyone had to go 325 million light years, Frontier started furnishing players with certain skins. I give to you the Frontier 25 or F25 community paint job. Yes, it's orange and white and grey, but you know what? It doesn't look too far out of place on the old Cobra Mk3 model. For me, the Cobra Mk3 was a ship I aspired to as soon as I got enough money to get away from the Sidewinder and the haulers, knowing full well that, given my experience with the Cobra Mk3 and other Elite Dangerous games, I could start to make some serious money. And I was right. Now, having it look nice is one thing, but how does it stand up in comparison to other ships? Well, pretty well. However, like for some of the backers, you were given the options of having a Cobra Mk4, but I've had little experience with it. But I think I'll go out and start having a play around with the Cobra Mk4 in other videos. So far, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and also that notification icon, and that'll let you know when I'm putting more videos of Elite Dangerous and other games on YouTube. And a like and subscribe these days goes a hell of a long way to ensuring that I can still continue to make some content. Now, like I say, it's a good paint job. I like it. It's bright. It's going to be good for making videos in if I'm ever flying around using the Cobra Mk3, and I do on the Reboot and Restart series. The Cobra Mk3, once engineered, does give a pretty good jump range. Now, also in my repertoire of Cobra Mk3 skins, there was the Gamescom paint job. Now, this is a completely different kettle of fish. It's going to be blue. It's going to be white. Little bits of purple in there as well. Exactly everything that you're going to need. And to be fair, I prefer the Gamescom paint job over the Frontier 25 paint job. Now, the Frontier 25 marked the 25 years as well of Frontier. So, this Gamescom one can obviously mark something to do with Gamescom, you could say. But I like it, like the sweeping white stripes on either side of the Cobra's hull. I like the fact that it gives a nod to the original colour of blue. It doesn't look too out of place, and I think it looks every way a little bit of... Well, I just think it makes the ship look quicker. It isn't, and it's never going to be, and you've got to do engineering for that. But I think it makes it look more streamlined. Anyway, the ship is the ship, and we're all familiar with the Cobra Mk3 and its plus points and its minus points. You know, the fact that only 2 utility slots. So what are you going to fit in there? Well, for me, I'd fit a pulse wave scanner. The new pulse wave scanner brought in now with the latest release of Elite Dangerous. And some shields. What about weapons? Well, for weapons, typically I pack some beam lasers on the class 2 slots, and then some small multi-cannons that I can keep lacing on down against my opponents. For maneuverability as well, let's not beat about the bush. I tend to sort of like go A-rated on an awful lot of these things, with the exception of perhaps the scanners and life support. Then you can engineer it, put some cargo space in it, and get yourself out there and get yourself trading. So what's the cockpit like on the old Cobra Mk3? Well, you know, it's functional, pretty dingy, so you can have all the nice paint on the outside, but unlike the Crate and Crate Phantom, none of that sort of transfers to the inside graphics of the cockpits, which is a bit of a shame, really. You'd think that would be a sort of an inside bonus pack, a bit like the sort of things you would get on some cars. All this, of course, takes development time for Frontier Developments to come in and start remodelling the interior of ships. And where most of ships, a lot of people don't go flying them. Let's be fair about that. Everyone wants to strive for that Anaconda. Everyone wants to strive for the Crate. The Mamba, the Fer-de-Lance, the Cutters, the Corvettes. And all these ships are good ships. However, you get an awful lot of fun from some of these low price ships, even the Sidewinder, not just the Cobra Mk3. And as a result of that, I think some of the other ships within the game, yes, they're there and the models are there and everything's great, they don't get a fair old crack of the whip once you start advancing as a player. So I think it's always nice to go back and pick up an old ship, go mining, go doing some bounty hunting, some trading in it. Just brings you a little bit down to earth from where you've been in the past, flying around in your Anacondas at 77 light years per jump. Get yourself back down to earth for your under 20 light year jumps and experience the game how an awful lot of other people can experience it. Now, as the game evolves and new functionality comes online, where will the Cobra Mk3 be? I don't know. Will there be a place for it? Will more and more players, what with the mining and the money that's been achieved from mining, all be flying around in Anacondas? If that's the case, then there's no place for smaller ships which provide an ample amount of fun. That fun's going to be replaced by higher fuel costs, higher rebuys, larger jump range, of course, a bit more strength in player v player, but not the level of dogfighting that you can get from some of these smaller ships. And for me, the Cobra Mk3 is exactly all of these things encompassed. It's a great trader, a great fighter, a pretty good explorer, let's not go crazy, and it's got that nostalgic value as well. Something that I think you can put a price on. And that's why I think the Crate has been so popular. Very sort of nostalgic look, a good view out the viewport, and a nod back to old Elite Dangerous games of old. Either way though, I've been Ricardo, this has been Elite Dangerous and a reboot and restart look at the Cobra Mk3 and some of the paint packs that have popped in recently. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've already done so, click that like and subscribe button and the notification icon, and I'll see you soon for the next video.